Hey there everyone, Mazrock here, and today I want to cover professions in Dragonflight. I wanted to originally make this video yesterday, but I was one of the many Rogers customers in Canada without internet. Now, luckily, I do not put all of my eggs in one basket because technology is always wonderful when it works. My cell phone is on a different... it was on a different network, so I was able to have some sort of communication with the outside world, thank goodness. But that also means that I was fairly angry that I couldn't play WoW, make YouTube videos, or stream, because my plan originally yesterday was to stream after the global NDIs were done for the day. Couldn't do that. So if you check out my Twitter page, you can basically see my my boredom with just a bunch of anti-Rogers memes because I was just livid. There's just a massive series of them. But yeah, so if you want to check that out, it'll take you like 2 minutes to go through them. There's not too many, but they are pretty funny. And you can see what someone who doesn't have the internet does with their boredom and spare time. But I do want to talk about the Dragonflight Professions. And one of the reasons why I want to talk about this specifically is I am going to be adding onto this channel more profession-based stuff in Dragonflight, because one of the things in Cataclysm that I really, really loved was professions. Although I don't think they were at their best iteration, I still had a lot of fun with them. I made a good amount of gold, and I had a lot of fun going through the process of, you know, creating my enchanter and creating all of this stuff, and you know, my blacksmith was max level and all this stuff, and I loved it. So I want to kind of bring that love of professions, which I find to be a little lacking in Shadowlands. I unless you're just dumping endless amounts of gold in, and I like when I came back in BFA, I was actually really, really sad at the state of professions to the point where I kind of like just didn't do them, and that was a part of the game that I really, really enjoyed. Before we do get started, though, please like, comment, subscribe. It goes such a long way. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. We're almost at 2,500 subs. I'm just... What is going on? Thank you so much. There is a Twitch link down below and a Discord link down below if you'd like to continue any conversations that you see as well. And there's a Patreon link as well with... there's going to be a monthly D&D night, monthly community night, community raid night with prizes, a bunch of fun stuff that's going to be happening there. I really want the value to be there for any bit of support that you guys give me as well. One-on-one time, all that fun stuff. Alright, so let's get into what Blizzard has put out a blue post about what Dragonflight professions are going to be. So they talk about philosophies, they talk about tiers, they talk about some new stuff that as I was reading this, I was crazy excited. And that could be the profession nerd in me because that's just how I am. So, Dragonflight development is in full swing. And they're trying to put out new stuff to, you know, things like that. I'm not going to read this word for word because I don't think it has to, but there are some exciting bits that I do want to talk about. So there's 3 main pillars to the revamped professions here, and that is crafting orders, profession specializations, which I'm very excited for, and crafting and gathering with quality. All of these things I am very, very excited for. So the new crafting order system is going to be something like the auction house, where you can put up an order on the auction house to commission it for X amount of gold, and somebody can make it and increase their skill or whatever have you not, or just make money. There's lots of different ways for this to work, but you can also, so you as a specialist can be like, oh, this guy wants a two-handed sword. Yeah, I'll do it for that much, and, you know, you make it, and then you sell it, and then boom, done. Nice and easy. But people are going to start seeing your name a lot more. That's one thing that I'm really liking with this as well, that they're going to be like, oh, this person crafted my sword. Maybe I can commission this exact person again to do it again, because I know that person specializes in it, because you are going to be able to choose whether you want anyone to make it, guildies to make it, or a very specific person. So I like how this is putting it back into the community, right? So you can build your name as a crafter, which I really, really like. You're also going to be able to customize the order with optional regents, depending on the recipe. So there's going to be lots of different ways to kind of, you know, change the stats, all that fun stuff. That's coming back, which is really, really good. I like it a lot. Profession specializations. Profession specializations, will allow you to specialize your primary crafting and gathering professions once you've reached a high enough level. You will earn spec points through a variety of activities and get to spend them permanently to improve different areas on your profession. Now, this one here, they kind of talked about it a little bit, and what it is like, let's say you're a blacksmith, right? You can choose to go more into armor spec or weapon specializations and really make those like god tier items. But that means that not just any blacksmith is going to be able to do this and just flood the market. You know what I mean? It's not going to be as simple as the one guy that has too much time on his hands on the server is going to be able to flood the market and ruin the auction house experience for everyone. You're really going to be able to focus and hone in on things. Now, of course, there is, there's a minimal amount of specializations and things like that, and there's a lot of people that play this game, but I really do like that you can really make a name for yourself or really hone in on what you like making. I know for me, because I am a big fan of all of the plate specs, I am actually thinking about having 2 blacksmiths, one going into armor smith and one going into weapons smithing, just so I can like get there quickly and make a lot of really, really good stuff, and just being known as Maz the Blacksmith on my server with all the different stuff, right? Really, really excited for that. Crafting with quality. So here are the quality icons that you can get. You are going to be able to make up to mythic level quality gear, and you can actually, you're going to be able to equip up to 5 of those pieces, 2-handers costing 2. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But you're going to be able to rely on luck a little bit. Well, not rely on luck, but you're going to have luck. But you're also going to, be able to put these regents in. And you're going to be able to see exactly what the quality of the loot is right here. I like this. It's not a gamble. You put your stuff in, and it literally shows you on the meter, boom. This is the quality of level loot that you're going to make. Love it. Chef's kiss. Love it. I think they're really on the right path with the Dragonflight Professions here. If you can't tell, I'm obviously a little excited. So lastly, determining quality of the crafting process. So here, you can guarantee critical strike and haste. You can one of the regions is it adds recipe difficulty, so that would be that little meter that's on there, and then you can move forward from there. I honestly, I just really, really love this. And of course, we're gonna have additional crafting stats for your crafter, right? So inspiration, so you have a % chance to be inspired. Crafting this recipe will grant you extra skill. Resourcefulness, so if it stacks, if you're trying to squeeze out every drop of profit out of your crafts, it's going to make you use less. Multi-craft, so you can multi-craft more items at the same amount of regents. And crafting speed. I love this. This is honestly really, really good. There is a wonderful quality philosophy here, which is a very, very good read. I'm going to leave the link for this down below, but I do not feel that it's necessary to cover this word for word in this video. But the takeaway here is you can fully specialize in crafting that type of gear that you want. You can use all top quality ingredients, both required and optional, all of which would require extremely skilled gatherer and crafters as well. So you're going to be able to make lower item level stuff and it not be a hindrance to you. But if you really want to make the top level stuff, you absolutely can, but you have to work for it. And this I really, really like. You have to work for it. Making professions actually matter. Making people that actually play this game and not just go sit in the main town and gold all of their stuff automatically win, right? You actually have to play the game. So there's going to be some people that aren't going to be happy about that, but I am. So there's just lots of good stuff here. The profession skilling philosophy. Now this is one that I want to cover in more detail. In Dragonflight, you will gain skill in your profession similar to the way you have in the past. There will be one main difference, though, for primary crafting professions. Instead of needing to max your skill to learn all recipes, you're only going to need to skill up about halfway. That is huge. The intent is that you won't feel the need to rush to max out your profession skill, but instead can slow down halfway, content in knowing You can learn any recipe you get your hands on. This is big. Any recipe you get your hands on. You do not need to be max level. So good. So good. It should also mean that while you're filling crafting orders for others or making useful items for yourself or your guild or to sell, that you will continue to gain skill. Finally, it should mean many fewer items will be made just to skill up. We all know what it's like when you're starting as a blacksmith and you're making 20 boots that you know are going to sell for like 1 gold a piece, and you can't friggin' do anything with them. So the flooding of the market is going to stop, diminishing the value and things like that. This is super nice. This is also true because much of the latter half of your profession skill will be earned through crafting high-end items that require specially earned soulbound regions. Since as an individual crafter, you cannot earn enough of these on your own to max off your profession, you will often need to fill orders from others to maximize the profession skill. I really like this. I really like this philosophy. I really like where they're going with it. I'm really excited to be a crafter in Shadowlands, in Dragonflight, and that is some content that you can definitely be expecting from me, you know, blacksmithing and things like that, what to do with the trees, where you want to go. I'm going to be covering that in a lot more detail as things go on and things like that, and be posting guides and all that fun stuff. So a few Dragonflight-specific crafting details. These are very, very important to know, especially when it comes to around the mythic stuff, the mythic level loot. So you're going to have to do high-end content to make high-end gear. To upgrade the equipment around mythic raid level, which you will be able to upgrade these soulbound pieces. That's very important to know because they are going to be soulbound, meaning you can either make them for yourself or they have to be made through a crafting order through someone else. These are not soulbound pieces that you can just make and then put onto the auction house. You need to, you're going to have to either advertise or try and find some way to put your name out there as a crafter that can make this and make these crafting orders. This is going to be a really, really nice system. I think it's going to be very good. But you're going to need to acquire the final region that can only be obtained through the highest tiers of content, Mythic Raids, highest levels of Mythic Plus, and highly rated PvP. Love this. Love it, love it, love it. Auction House Goblins, you want to make the best? You're actually going to have to play the game. Good stuff. Second type of region will, and then there's going to be a quest. So just people that know Life It to get some of these regions are going to you're not going to be able to know Life this off the bat. There's going to be some of the regions available every few weeks, but that also means that, you know, Race to World First people and things like that aren't going to be able to just have mythic item level quality loot fully decked out. They probably will, actually. They're going to pretty much employ their whole server into making it. But it is what it is. I love this, and it's going to give people that prefer to play solo different ways and different means of making this stuff as well. So I really like it. There's going to be changes to alchemy and files. So instead of flasks, I don't know, I think it's going to be one of these standardizations of the file as an innovative, I cannot word today, replacement for the flask. So I don't know if flasks are fully going away, but are at least going to have the option to choose to use files, and files you can use 2 at once. They don't last as long. They're only going to last for 30 minutes, but you can use 2 of them at once. So if you look here, we have like the file of tepid versatility. You can increase your versatility by 72. There's the static empowerment one. So remaining stationary will increase your intellect up to 240 over 5 seconds. Really good for turret casters. There's another one that if you're within 10 yards of allies, your intellect is increased by 225, sorry. Lots of good stuff here, and these are just an example of some of them, right? So there's going to be a lot of different options and a lot of different ways to customize the strength of your character in endgame. So these are just going to be the start of kind of what's coming out as professions, and trust me, as I gained access to alpha and beta, if I do, I will be going into this quite a bit, and I will be putting out guides for professions and things like that. Like I said, I'm definitely going to be honing in on blacksmithing quite a bit, but I think with all 6 tanks, I'm going to have to choose 6 different professions, or 6 different class of professions, because you kind of have to, but that's going to be it for that. So very, very excited. Tons of good stuff. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the professions in Dragonflight? Is this revamp good? Is it going in a better direction? Is it going in a worse direction? I would love to hear that in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a great day.